Hello and welcome to Zgermanguy Reviews. I am Zgermanguy, and we continue our journey in this mine, Kingdom Hearts Retrospective. We open up with a quick recap of the events of Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and Chain of Memories. But it's totally edgy cause there are digital numbers and letters flying around everywhere. So cool. Little spoiler alert, everything that you are about to see is completely pointless because it's all digital. I don't understand why people don't like this game. And I'm serious, by the way. Do people forget that this is the point normally of a spin-off game? To have a story that has none to little impact on the main universe? But we get to that later. We really open up at Disney Castle, where Jiminy, yeah he is still around, is monologuing to us about past adventures. The little cricket looks down on his 2 journals he wrote and is surprised to see that on the last page of the one that was made useless by Namine's magic has a strange poem appearing. He runs over to see King Mickey.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Who has a brilliant idea. Are you ready for this? He uses a huge machine that he probably stole from Ansem's lab. Seriously, Mickey, at least wait until his body gets cold. And uses it to digitalize the book in order to repair the damage done to it and figure out the poem's meaning. And this is strange, to say the least. Of course, Mickey and the others don't know that magic is involved, but usually when it is, all forms of technology and science are useless. Then again, Kingdom Hearts doesn't exactly play by the rules, does it? But as it is always the case with crazy science, crazy shit happens, and the data gets corrupted. However, there is no need to panic, because Chip has an idea. They just need to ask someone who lives inside the journal to repair it. Is that how that works? I did it completely wrong all this time. Excuse me, people of Microsoft land. Make my computer work good. Over and out. So wait, that Winnie the Pooh book wasn't just magic. In the Kingdom Hearts universe, all books become a self-contained universe? I can't imagine a more hellish existence than living self-aware in a really shitty novel and being forced to do a bunch of stupid, senseless things because the creator of your world forces you to. We then meet Sora, Data Sora that is, who begins his journey at a dive to the heart. Makes sense to me. If I was Sora and I had to say where my journey truly began, I also would pinpoint it at the moment where life started to become weird. Since this Sora is a collection of information put together by Jiminy, he is almost an exact copy of the real Sora. Which means, if you ask Jiminy to describe a tree, you can bet that he will write about 100 pages for you. A man in a black cloak appears, and of course Jiminy has no memory of writing down such a thing. The man leaves, and Mickey tells Sora that he has to go after him. Data Sora follows the orders coming from the voice in the sky and runs into Heartless. And while we are at it, I need your firstborn. Thankfully, Chip and Dale use their mad hacker skills to give Sora the Keyblade right away. After we send the shadows back to the pitch black darkness they came from, we arrive at Destiny Islands, where Mickey Mouse, after politely asking if Sora's alright, explains Data Boy the situation as good as possible. Data Sora doesn't really understand what's going on, but he understands that Mickey needs his help, and so he starts exploring the island. We quickly find out that all data from the journal has been corrupted by a virus, so what Sora needs to do is clean up every world, or should I better say file, that he visits and hope he stumbles across the answer for that mystery. After we get rid of the garbage, our digital friends tell us that they saw a man in black heading to the secret cave. Come to think about it, the real Sora seems pretty open about all his secrets when it comes to completing the journal. Maybe he just needs to give Kairi a copy to finally explain all his feelings. On his arrival, Data Sora hears a voice inside his head and his keyblade begins to glow. Mickey and the others see that a new entry has been added to the journal. The man in black returns, telling him some confusing crap. What else is new in the land of Kingdom Hearts? Thank you. I'm here from Monday to Friday. Then a key-shaped hole appears, and of course Sora paid attention in kindergarten and knows key goes into keyhole. He tries it out and gets teleported to a shattered Destiny Island. And that, kids, is what happens when you turn it left instead of right. Actually, the keyholes in the datascape lead to the core of a world, meaning Sora is at the center of its corruption and has to eliminate what is causing it. That something is of course a digital Heartless. After the fight, Sora gets absorbed by the blackness and later wakes up in Traverse Town. Meanwhile, Jiminy, Mickey, Donald and Goofy witness how the journal suddenly plays a video that shouldn't exist. A scene that reveals that Riku got help from Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, escaping Destiny Island. So in the real world, Riku destroyed the island because he wanted to escape that badly and used the power of darkness. What is the equivalent to that in here? Did Data Riku click on certain websites? Anyway, Sid in Traverse Town asks us to find Huey, Dewey and Louie, who have gone missing after they decided to investigate where the strange glitches came from. So they call it glitches instead of strange phenomena, meaning that they know that they're inside a program. Did Deadpool pay this town a visit and spread the philosophy of fourth wall breaking self-awareness? We find the three rascals and bring them back safe and sound. They give us all a piece of light fragments, and after the mysterious man gives us the last piece, it creates another keyhole, making it possible for us to get rid of the Data Heartless in this world too. We then finally get to see what Pluto was up to the first game. After our three heroes declared their friendship, Pluto jumped into a dark portal and wasn't seen again until the end of game number 1. Donald, you are a terrible dog owner. Goofy, you are a terrible brother. Well, actually, it's not that simple. They can't even remember that Pluto came with them at all. Those of you who paid attention should know who we can thank for that. Suddenly, they get interrupted when Heartless attack. Mickey wants to check out the rest of the castle, but the door is closed tightly. Sadly, they have to accept that they can't open it, because Mickey forgot that he has a freaking keyblade. So, instead, they concentrate on helping Sora with moral support, who by the way has reached Wonderland. We save Alice from some Heartless, but when asked what her name is, she says she can't remember. Nomura, is it possible that you are running out of ideas? We have been there, done that. The Cheshire Cat, who surprisingly is straightforward with his help this time, shows up.
She has amnesia?
Not only her, but everyone here as well. Things have become quite buggy, can't you tell? And every day, I'd eat some honey.
Has anyone ever noticed that the Cheshire Cat is essentially a combination of the Joker and the Riddler? Has anyone ever noticed that the Riddler is essentially the Joker? Because all his riddles are essentially dumb gags. He says the box caused everyone in Wonderland to lose their memory, so getting rid of them will fix everybody's minds. Well, at least the Lunatic Kingdom will be able to remember stuff again. But in order to do that, we first need to find the keyhole. Thankfully, the memories of Alice have been scattered around as glowing orbs, called Inklings. We collect them and Alice first remembers how she arrived here, then that she saw the keyhole at the palace of the Red Queen. Let me guess, she uses that interdimensional portal as a convenient toilet. Alice accompanies us on our way, and as you expect, the Red Queen yet again blames us for another crime. We are the ones that stole her memory, she claims. Wow, with that justice system, the crime rate in Wonderland must be worse than the worst slum and growing 7,000% every day. But who are they going to blame for that? Probably the Jews. Anyhow, we are guilty, cause the Queen says so. Her guards surround us and Alice shows us where the keyhole is before escaping. Sora evades the card soldiers and then closes another keyhole. Later we are visited by the Man in Black, telling us some more cryptic useless garbage before opening a portal and leaving. Sora runs after him and to much surprise ends up in what is apparently Disney Castle. But don't you worry, your brain doesn't have to melt and you don't have to wait another 6 games on 7 different consoles for an explanation. You actually get one right away. It is revealed that the man in the black hood is Data Riku. When the journal was digitalized and bugs started to appear, the journal transferred all of its information into Data Riku as a protective vessel against corruption. He further explains that he brought all of them into the datascape without them noticing, so that they could help him solve the journal's mystery and save it. Okay, fair enough, but one question. How? Wasn't the whole point of Ansem exploding that real-world stuff, or at least hearts, can't be digitalized? And further, how did you take over the machine that Mickey was using? Are there no safety protocols for that sort of thing? It also doesn't explain why he felt the need to hide his identity for so long. Data Riku has no reason to hide, unlike Riku in Kingdom Hearts 2, who was ashamed of himself. But yeah, we have to draw the similarities to other games somehow. If he wanted to test Mickey's intentions because he doesn't really know him, then he proved that he means no harm after he helped Sora close the first keyhole. Why all the secrecy? Why all the riddles? Maybe he is just a very, very slow program and only updates every 10 months. Or maybe he is just a very precise copy of the real Riku. The path of the self-pitying emo is indeed a mysterious one. I also love this scene. Data Sora doesn't even pretend that he has any idea what's going on, so why just not take a nap? That is also what I believe a huge portion of the players look like in front of the screen. My brain is full with 20 terabytes of Kingdom Hearts information. Just tell me what I need to kill, please. Mickey wonders if there's a way for them to get home, which is a good question. Sure, you would assume that when Data Riku brought them here, that he made also sure to bring them back, but if this really is an exact copy of the Riku from Kingdom Hearts 1, then chances are high that he is a douche king. Before Mickey can get an answer to that question, however, the alarm starts to go off and Data Riku says that there is a hacker trying to cut off the link between the datascape and the real world, and he succeeded. But there's still hope. They just have to repair that link between the worlds. For that to happen, they have to get rid of all the bugs inside the system. Data Sora has still no clue what is happening, but he just smiles and says, it's all no big deal. Ignorance is bliss indeed. He takes off to another world, Hercules' homeworld, where Hades is up to no good. With the help of the half-god, we defeat Cloud, who again has been manipulated by Hades. When he realizes this, he leaves, but later we can convince him to join us in our fight against the bugs, who, as it turns out, are not the works of Hades as they first thought. Why would you even think that in the first place? This is what happens when you don't listen, Data Sora. Although, it would be a nice break from the routine if some random villain from a random world would turn out to be the major antagonist of a spin-off game. The god of the underworld does however still aim to kill them with his three-headed, not so cute, not so friendly dog. I understand now why he didn't get a role for the Clifford show. Logic dictates that 3 heroes can take on 3 heads, and so Cerberus is punished by us for being a bad boy. Ooh, can someone contact the producers of one of those How to Train Your Dog Properly shows? I would love to see that. After we fight a few seconds with Hades and he realizes he can't win, he snaps his fingers and off he goes. Then we get rid of the bugs, restoring order in that part of the journal. Then Data Sora runs into Pete, everyone's favorite dumb villain cat. He says he got here from the real world and that this place belongs to him now, so we better don't get in his way. Well, if I can't take over the real world, then the 15-year-old teenager's diary shall be mine! I am pathetic. And then he runs to a portal while sounding like he is about to die from a heart attack. Like always when he is running. We go after Pete and end up in Agrabah. Unfortunately, we lost him when we arrived. But then we meet Aladdin and help him on his quest to save Yasmin and the city from Jafar. Problem is, Pete gave Jafar a copy of the magic lamp using the bugs and glitches. Aside from the fact that this is totally cheating and I hope that the developers put something in to punish him, like for example a bunch of dogs chasing him until death, similar to Zelda's chickens. Is everyone in this universe a computer expert except Sora, Donald and Goofy? What, is Mother effing Snow White gonna calculate the flight route for the gummy ship? Will Ariel show us some Google Easter eggs? Will Maleficent annoy us with I am a prince from Uganda and you are my last relative spam mails? Learn to code. Jafar's first wish is to freeze time in Agrabah, which works, but thanks to the powers of the Keyblade and the fact that we are from another world, protects us from this magic.
Oh, you mean like a loophole? That's the best kind of hole!
We hunt Iago for a while, and when we finally get the real lamp back, we find out how to use it and turn Agrabah back to normal. That is, Genie deleted all the bugs, but time is still standing still, because only the person that made the spell can undo it. Unlimited cosmic powers!
Loophole is the best kind of hole. I'm so good at helping.
But Genie realizes that this is a little bit unfair, so he decides to break one of the supposedly unbreakable rules and give Sora a free wish. So if Aladdin had just stuck with, I bet you can't do this and this, then he would have had unlimited wishes.
Wait, there's more! I just happen to have a trace on a certain super creepy bad guy that you've been looking for. What do you say? How about another chance?
How else will I find him? And I do need help. Alright, Genie. I know what I want for my next wish. I wish for you to take me to the villain.
And thus Sora was transported to the next best street mugger. Also, how can Genie break his own rules all the time, but at the same time be this pedantic when it comes to wording? Never mind. Sora eventually arrives exactly where he wants to be. Genie takes Sora to the Cave of Wonders and helps him to avoid Jafar's traps. You know what's coming next. Jafar wishes to become a big red evil genie, but thanks to the almighty power of loopholes, we can trap him inside his own lamp. Pete is pissed that he lost again and runs away, so of course we need to catch him. But before we can do that, we have to use our remaining 2 wishes. World peace and make it so that Brand never falls on the butchery side again. No, actually Sora wants that Genie returns to Aladdin and Yasmin. And his last wish is a gift to Aladdin, because he knows in his heart that he will use it to do something good and selfless for Genie.
Could I have a hug?
Outside the cave, Pete and Maleficent laid out a trap for us. Surprised by the two, Sora gets overwhelmed very quickly. Maleficent notices that there is something odd about our Keyblade. Ugh, and the outfit you are wearing, so last year. Also, did you shrink? She examines it for a while until she destroys it, covering her in shining glitter. Now that it's raining more than ever, know that we still have each other. You can stand under my umbrella. She then summons a small army of Heartless. Luckily, Riku and Mickey are there to help. And you stayed at Disney Castle because? I mean, sure, someone has to protect Ansem's machine, but there are like still 2 other comrades of mine who could have joined me. Oh god. You left Donald and Goofy alone with the computer? Pete then gets in the mood for some backstory. On the offers of Maleficent, Pete was spying on Mickey and the others. As coincidence would have it, when Pete was peeking through the doors, it was in the moment when Data Rico decided to transport everybody to the datascape. The big cat then woke up at the heart of the datascape, the place where all the virtual worlds are connected. And then he called out for Maleficent, who got there. Somehow? Was she sleeping in one of his pockets or what? How the hell did she get into the datascape? Do Pete and Maleficent share a link with one another? Well, I mean, there could be something going on between them. After all, Pete saved Maleficent once like a knight in shining armor. Look at this picture and tell me this is not the greatest thing that you have ever seen in your entire life. Anyway, Maleficent reveals her plan. She wants to conquer the datascape in order to transport her army of Heartless to Castle Disney. She also wants to imprison the king and his 2 best soldiers here, leaving the kingdom even more without protection. Yeah, that's a pretty good plan. Without Chip and Dale, the kingdom is pretty defenseless. Data Rico, being the guardian of the datascape, is determined to throw her out, but her dark magic is too strong for him. The villains vanish, taking Rico with them. Back at Digital Disney Castle, the heroes discuss their next move. This is what the situation looks like. Sora's Keyblade has been destroyed and Donald and Goofy have to protect the computer from any Heartless all alone. After some time, Donald and Goofy get more and more worried, so they ask Data Sora what they should do, but he has already left to help the king. All the weapons I need are right here. Iron and steel. And if all of that doesn't help, I still have a giant hammer.
The hammer is my penis.
Anyway, since this is a very good moment for a cliffhanger, I say to you, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope we can see each other next time again. Zgermanguy out and auf Wiedersehen.